I'd like to welcome everybody to the January meeting of the Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation Commission. Happy New Year to everybody. Hope everybody had a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. This time we'll call the meeting to order. First item on the agenda is our prayer and pledge, and Tim's going to take care of that for us today.
If we could please stand. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you in prayer and we thank you for this day. We thank you for the blessings of life that we enjoy. We pray, Father, that you'd watch over this commission as it goes through the deliberations of the day. We pray that you'd bless our new director as he leads this organization. And we pray that we'd have a very prosperous new year in 2009. And again, all blessings upon this city. We just all ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Tim. I believe everybody has received their packet earlier in the week. Contained in that packet were the minutes from our December meeting. I'll give everybody a second to review those, and if there are any changes that need to be made, please bring those to our attention. And if there are none, we'll entertain a motion for acceptance of the minutes as presented.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to rise for a point of order and possibly a point of information. On page 3 of our minutes, first paragraph, items, numbers, or line 20, 21, 22, 23, and the very last part of that first paragraph talks about the specials for Patterson Park and Sports Comms membership passes, and it does adequately and accurately reflect that I had recused myself from voting on this special because I intended to take advantage of that special if it passed. I think at that point in time we did not have enough members present. We had, I think, 5 members present, one of which was ex officio Mr. Bill Allen. I had questioned whether or not we, at reading the minutes, I would be under the impression that we did have a quorum and that motion could pass with the adequate number of people that were here. I've done some reviewing of Robert's Rules of Order, and it states in there that an ex officio member has the same rights and privileges as the other members, which would be including the right to vote. I spoke with our director here about this, and he's looked at the code, and I think it states in the city code that our ex officios in the Recreation Commission is a non-voting member. And I guess I'd like to get a clarification on that from our legal counsel, as well as whether or not that would not constitute a quorum or not.
Okay. Kelly?
As long as there's a quorum present, and if one member recuses himself and the majority votes for the item, then it's a valid vote.
Okay.
So the fact that you recused yourself didn't impact the quorum issue. You're still considered part of the voting body to constitute a quorum, even though you chose not to vote on that item, and a majority of the members voted in favor of it, so it's a valid vote.
Okay.
Okay.
So that last line being that would need to be presented since a quorum was not met would actually need to be amended.
Yes.
A quorum was met.
A quorum was met.
But I think, as Mr. Goodwin has pointed out to me, any type of action by this commission that has a fiscal impact goes before City Council as well.
That's correct.
Anyway, yeah.
I would like to, I guess, amend the minutes,
Mitzi, you'll make that amendment?
and I would also rise to make the motion to approve the minutes as amended.
Okay. Is there any other? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes as amended are approved. Thank you, Tim. All right. Lanny, I believe you have a new employee you'd like to introduce.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, we have a new assistant aquatics coordinator, Miss Nikki Witten. Ms. Witten has worked for us for the past 3 years. She started as a lifeguard and she moved on up to a head guard and a pool manager, and recently interviewed and was selected as our new full-time assistant aquatics coordinator. Nikki is originally from Smyrna. She now lives in Murfreesboro. She's in her last semester at MTSU. She will graduate in May. She is majoring in agricultural business, but her minors is Parks and Recreation Administration and Education. And Nikki, if you'd like to come to the podium and address the commission, you're welcome to do that. Oh, she's already there.
She's quick.
Yeah, good.
Hi, I'm Nikki Witten, and as Lanny already stated, I've worked with the city for going on 3 years, and I started off as a lifeguard, just trying to get some extra money for college, and then I became a head guard, and then I soon kept on progressing up to becoming the pool manager. And I always liked my job. I really enjoyed it, but it's because I worked with my friends, and my bosses were cool, and, but then when I got pool managers, when I realized I liked the work, I like to do what has to be done to keep the pools of Murfreesboro safe and the people happy of the city. And so that's when I decided in May 2004, when I should have graduated college, that I wanted to add on an extra year to add Parks and Rec to my diploma. So I went ahead and did that, and then the second I heard that there was an opening for the assistant coordinator over at Patterson Park, I immediately went to Tom and told him that I had every intention of applying, and I was going to go ahead and take on the job as if it were already mine. And it was a little bit bold, but it worked out. And I'm here now, and I'm so happy and truly blessed that I can call my career, that I can call it fun. I like it. I love it. I love going to work. I'm excited about it, and I'm on the road and excited to see where Parks and Rec is going to take me. So thank you, Lanny and Nate and Jenny and Tom and Bart, for everything. Without y'all, I would not be a full-time employee, and I am now. So thank you very much. And that's it.
Thanks, Nikki.
She'll be even better when she gets over her shyness.
Well, we're thrilled to have you. All right, we'll move now to new business. The first item under new business is a review of the Stones River Greenway projects.
Yes,
Lanny, I believe you got somebody.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, I just thought it would be appropriate, starting off the first of the year, to bring Mr. Lee Davison, who is the Vice President of Lowson Associates, here and give you an update of all the trail projects, let you know where we stand on our planning, where we stand as far as construction, what we've got coming up for the future. And Mr. Davison has put together a nice little presentation for you, and you have that included in your packet. And Lee, if you'd like to go ahead and give the commission an update.
I sure appreciate being able to present this to you guys this afternoon, and would like to say that it's been a pretty exciting year for Greenway construction in the city. We've got some projects underway that I think everybody can be really excited about, and got some more that are on the agenda to start up this year that should be just as exciting. The first project I'd like to talk about, of course, is the Stones River Greenway extension. I've got a map up here and also in your packet that shows phases 1 and 2 is the first map we've got up here. Phase 1 was completed back about a year and a half ago, actually 2 years ago now, and included all the work in Old Fort Park, and I think everybody's pretty familiar with that. I think the pavilion is a huge success. Everybody enjoys that. From what I understand, there's a lot of picnicking that goes on, and the people using the tennis courts also enjoy that. What we're working on now with the Stones River is Phase 2. It's been under construction for about 9 months now. And what that includes is the section continuing the Old Fort Park section and continues all the way down to 99. This section actually has one crossing of the Stones River, and I don't know if any of you guys have been out there yet, but there's a pretty nice looking bridge out there now that has been completed, and now the trails leading up to that bridge are underway. We ran into a slight problem this month with the rain. They had the project ready to pave. The contractor had everything ready and was actually moving their paving equipment in, and that's when the rains hit, and they lost some of their base stones. So they're going back in and correcting that now, but that's being taken care of. Right now, if you go out there, it's probably pretty muddy, but as soon as we can get it dried up, they're going to get this thing finished up, and it should be finished in April. That's the original project completion date, and talking to the contractor, there should be no problems meeting that. There's a large trailhead also on this project at the end of Case and Trace, and that trailhead includes 3 pavilions, 1 large pavilion, 2 small pavilions, a restroom facility, and a playground, which will really be nice for the subdivision down in that area. As I said, this construction should be completed in April, and we should have a fully functioning trail connecting to the existing trail, coming through Old Fort Park, and continuing all the way down to 99. Phase 3 of the project is a shorter section of trail that continues on down beyond 99 along Barfield Road and along Stones River. This section of trail will get us back down below, and I'm using property owners' names, but the Petty property, which is it's just over 1 mile of trail. This section is currently in property acquisitions. A few of the properties have been acquired. I think there's a couple more to go, but everything seems to be going according to plans, and hopefully we'll be able to get this thing out on the streets for bids late this spring. Phase 4, which is a much more substantial piece of trail, pretty much like the Phase 2, we'll continue that section of trail all the way to Barfield Park. That part of the trail is currently, the routing has been laid out, and we are currently completing the property acquisition documents, and those should be going to acquisition this spring. And that pretty much wraps up the Stones River extension. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them. In my document, I also have some photographs, which we have on the boards, and kind of show some of the stages of completion. The last page of photographs do show some of the Phase 2 construction, which includes a new style of boardwalk that we are using. It's a wooden board, or a concrete boardwalk in place of the wooden boardwalks, which were quite a bit of maintenance on those types of boardwalks. So we've switched over to a concrete plank boardwalk, which should reduce any maintenance to pretty much none. There's a few wooden rails on it to give it the wooden boardwalk feel, but other than that, it should be a very strong structure.
One other thing I want to point out is if you could turn to the pictures, which are right before the Gateway Trail information, those are the pictures that reflect the new trailhead at Case and Trace. So you can see that those structures are somewhere around 80-85% complete. Going to be very, very nice trailhead. And also there's a picture of the bridge. I know that a lot of you have been on the current Greenway. You've seen the bridge that goes across the Stones River now. This bridge dwarfs that bridge in comparison. So when you go out and look at it, it's a very impressive, very massive looking structure. But it's elevated high enough that it gets it out of the floodplain. There's some great view sheds on this portion of the Greenway. I really think it's going to be a great addition to our Greenway system.
Next Greenway I'd like to discuss is the Gateway Trail. This is kind of the gem of the Murfreesboro Trail System at this point. We have reached substantial completion on both Phase 1 and Phase 2. These projects are totally in the Gateway area, development area, and Section 1 includes a trail that basically wraps around the northern side of the Gateway project, and actually takes in a piece of the capped landfill and crosses College Street over to a new trailhead. This section of trail is substantially complete. We have a few punch list items that are still to be completed, but this spring, everybody ought to be able to go out and enjoy this section of trail. The second section of Gateway is the Lake and Island Garden Area, which is Phase 2, which if you haven't seen it, you need to get out and see it. It's really amazing. Waterfalls, water fountains out in the middle of the large lake, a visitor center, a pavilion, and that one also is substantially complete with a few punch list items to be completed and should be open for everyone to enjoy this spring as soon as the weather warms up. Also, there is a third section of Gateway that has been started in design. There are a few properties that have been identified that we're working with now, and that section, hopefully, we'll get that one underway in the near future and get that section built. That's the section that runs along the Stones River. It is in the works. But there's also some pictures of the island area. I can't take credit for those photographs. Jenny over here actually took many of those photographs back in the early fall. So, go ahead.
Excuse me, Lee. One other thing I want to point out too, as you look at the site master plan for the Gateway Greenway, you can notice the trail in yellow, which is basically Phase 4. That will be built by private landowners. And a portion of that you can see goes through Middle Tennessee Medical Center. They are in the process of constructing that greenway. So if you go out and look at the new construction at the new hospital, you will see that portion of the greenway that is going through there. We've had considerable interest of adjacent landowners to connect to the greenway. They look at that as one of the real benefits of having a business in that particular area, because they can let their employees and people that are visiting their businesses utilize the greenway. So I wanted to point that portion out and let you know how most of that will be constructed as well.
As I said, we've got a lot of Greenway projects on board here, and the next one that I'd like to talk about is actually, it's not a City of Murfreesboro project per se, but it is a Corps of Engineers project that will become a city park in the near future, but it's the North Murfreesboro Trail. This is a project that the Corps of Engineers is constructing from Walter Hill Park and following along the Stones River up through the Coleman Farm that the city now owns. This is primarily, the trail will be on Corps of Engineers property. There are a couple areas where it does get on City of Murfreesboro property, but as far as property acquisitions, there's no property acquisitions for this entire 3.25 miles of trail. Plus, there are also about another 3 miles of equestrian trails included in this area. We had a meeting yesterday with the Corps, and things are moving forward nicely. We have completed a 60% construction set and plan in the near future to carry that on to 100%, and hopefully there'll be funding for that in 2010, I'm sorry. But that project is progressing nicely. And as you can see, I've included a map. It's a little small and hard to read. If you'd like to see a larger copy, I can definitely get you a larger copy. And I've shown some photographs of the corridor of that trail. There's also going to be a canoe launch in this section of trail, so there will be a place to put your canoe in at one of the trailheads. And then the last section of trail is the North Murfreesboro Connector. And that one is a trail that we've done a study for the city, I guess about 6 months ago. And it includes 4 miles of trail that connect the schools down around the Thompson Lane, Siegel area, all the way up to the new North Murfreesboro Trail. It does go through the Siegel Park wetland areas and continues on following behind Liberty Valley subdivision on up to the new Greenway section. So what we're looking at is basically a connection between the northern part of Murfreesboro all the way to the southern part when these things get completed. I don't know that we have discussed this one. I don't know that I've been in front of this commission and discussed this one, so if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer any questions you have on that.
Also, one of the other things that I asked Lee to do, just for your information, is we have had, over the past several years, several discussions about different portions of the Greenway that either are not connecting or are not complete for some reason or some problem that we may have. And he has included those in other projects being discussed. One of the very top is the Comprehensive Greenway and Open Space Study. We will be commissioning here very shortly a comprehensive Greenway master plan that will look at all of the greenways all the way through the urban growth boundary, along with bikeways. We'll tie that to the major thoroughfare plan. And then we will also look at the blueway system within the city. Blueways are basically ways that you can enter the river either via canoe ports, where the portages are, where you can have put-ins and takeouts and those kind of things, because there are a lot of river areas that people along either the northern portion of the city utilize that portion of the Stones River or the southern portion of the city, but we will be identifying those and identifying areas that we may need to have a trailhead just basically for a blueway put in. But also, one of the things that we will be looking at is the downtown area as well. You know, we bring people into the downtown area as far as greenways are concerned, but we don't really look about routing people through the city. So we'll be looking at tying in businesses, parks, those kind of things as well in that master plan. We think it's going to be a great document. Hopefully, we'll be able to commission that within the next month. That study will take about 6 months to complete. We will bring it to the commission through different phases of the study so you can be up to date. We will have open forums for people to have input sessions and so forth. So the commission will be a part of that ongoing process. But I really felt like it would be important to bring you the Greenway and where we are and what we're planning on doing in the future, and see if there's any questions or comments or suggestions that the commission may have in terms of the development of the Murfreesboro Greenway system.
Anybody have any questions for Lee or Lanny? Lee, I've got one, just real quickly, under the gateway section.
Yes, sir.
In Phase 2, you've got a picture of some settling on the overlook. I assume that's one of the punch
That's
list
one of
items.
I wanted to make you guys aware, if you went out there and saw the settling, that was one of the punch list items.
That's what I assumed.
It looks kind of scary when you see it. There was some settling. The contractor's going to remove that section and recompact it and replace it. So I just wanted to kind of include those photographs. Actually, if you go out there now, it looks a little rougher because they've torn some of it out. So
Right. Okay.
just to let you know that is one of the punch list items.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Lee, thanks for being here. Jenny, I believe you've got something you got to get set up, right?
Oh, we're ready.
You're ready. Okay. Well, Jenny Brinkman's going to give us a demonstration of the new Parks and Rec website.
Well, thank you for letting me present the website to you today. This has been a year-long preparation, and every month I was saying, oh, we're getting close, we're almost there, any day now. Well, exciting enough is here now. So I'm here today to walk you through our new web pages and to give you an idea of what you can find and where to access different information. It's loaded with lots of information, lots of new stuff about our programs, our events, our facilities, our parks. This is our main web page, which you can access through the main city website if you go to the government and city departments. And basically, we have some, a menu item which now has new, as you can see, fly-out menus, some of which even fly out even further. And as you can see, we've got a link to a new Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation promotional video that Channel 3 put together. It's a wonderful video. If you have a chance to click on it, it takes about 6 minutes. It walks you through every aspect of our department, every park, every facility. It's wonderful. They actually won an award on it, so we're very grateful to them for producing this for us, and we've made a link here on our webpage. As well as we've got basic information, how to contact us, park locations, facilities and shelters, as well as our program guide, which is our Rec Connection. Also information, the latest information about our holiday specials and closing, upcoming events. Also, we invite everyone to join our new event mail list. We are now sending out e-newsletters once a month to people who are on our permission-based list, giving them information about new programs and events as well as specials. We also hope to utilize this with your permission to start doing some coupons. So you'll be seeing me in the next couple of commission meetings coming to you for that, as well as some of the latest like our open softball meeting. There is links on all of the home pages to our Rec Connection, as well as information here about our smiling new director, Mr. Goodwin. And we're also going to spotlight down here latest things, you know, the New Year, New You, about our holiday specials, as well as how to join our event list. So in case you missed it at the top, you'll catch a link. And as you go through, for our aquatics, we have our main MPRD aquatics page, or you can go directly to the Patterson Pool, pool rentals, SportsCom pool, or swimming lessons. And our main MPRD page, as you can see, highlights, you can click directly to that pool. Also, it gives you direct information to our exercise schedules, pool rentals, swimming lessons, special events, as well as the direct pages from the Rec Connection listing our aquatic programs for the winter. Also, you have links to go to our directly email, Nate Williams or Nikki Whitten, who are our aquatics people, as well as a link to our Rec Connection. So we try to make sure we have as much action-packed information. If you go to our Patterson Pool page, this gives you an idea, gives you an example about listing, describing the pool there, our hours, as well as their exercise schedule, the swim preschool program that is special to Patterson, the pool rentals, events, and the programs. And then if you go to our pool rentals, it gives you all the information that's never been listed before on our website. The hours, the availability, the cost for each. We've got the Patterson Pool page. We have the SportsCom indoor pool, as well as the outdoor pool. And it also lists the hours. And all of this, there's also the contact people if you want more information about rentals. In addition, we have our SportsCom pool page that again gives a description about the pools, as well as the hours, the extra schedules, the Swim Academy, which is special to SportsCom, and then our American Red Cross training courses that will be starting this spring. And then last, for aquatics, we have our swim lessons page, which gives you some information about our swim preschool program, all the ages, everything they need to know, as well as the click to go, the current dates and times. Same thing for our Swim Academy program. All right, and moving on, we have our cultural arts section. We have our cultural arts page, which gives you information about the theater, some examples of programs that are going on there, as well as a link to the direct web pages for the Rec Connection, as well as theater rental information, which is also included in another link. And that gives you the nitty-gritty when it comes to renting the theater at Patterson. It gives you a description of the theater, when rentals can take place, as well as the fees and charges, rental rates, performance rates, and some things that you might want to know, some hot topics. So this is a really good informational piece so that our goal in the website was to make sure we have as much information on hand there so it's one less step for them to find out their information. And then we move on to our Greenways and Wetlands, and we will be adding a new page that will include all the information that Lee Davison gave you today. When I get back to the office, I'll be making that new page for you, so that should be available shortly to the public. We have our Murfreesboro Greenway System page that gives you a list of the Greenway System in general, as well as we can click for the trailhead and locations and descriptions. You can click on and find out some actual outdoor adventure programs, a map of the Murfreesboro Greenway System, the Murfreesboro Bark Park, which is located right off of General Bragg Trailhead, the rules for the Greenway system, as well as the Friends of the Greenway, how to get involved with them. There's also information here on the flyout for the trailheads. And what I've done is I've included the actual physical address for every trailhead with a description of where its location is, so that if anyone is interested and they want to type in that physical address into MapQuest or Yahoo Maps, they have that ability. That's never been available before. And then also we have the Murphy Spring wetlands. We've got some nice photos there. It kind of gives you some background information as well as your contact information. And if you'll notice on all of these pages, we have the link to our Rec Connection. We've made a link for Outdoor Adventure, just in case you might not know what we all have available. I made a link to the Greenway System, the Wilderness Station, and the Bark Park. And then parks, we've got listed the Bark Park, which is becoming very popular and has probably one of the most people call for questions about. So I've made a link here that if you click on will take you to the MapQuest, which that gives the directions. And then park locations gives you an idea, as well as the physical address is listed in each of the descriptions, as well as a picture of the park, as well as a link to shelter rentals, which is another link too off the parks that gives you all the information that's never been on here before. The contact information of how you want to, if you want to reserve a pavilion or shelter, as well as the shelters and the capacity available, as well as the rates, the half-day and the full-day rates for every park that we have. Now, moving on to recreation facilities, we have a variety of facilities available to us. We have Cannonsburg Village, and that has been included in this section. We have a main homepage for Cannonsburg Village that kind of gives you some background information about the historic village, school tours, as well as the Art League and the Antique Automobile Club. And also, in addition to that, if you'll do a flyout, we have the rental and reservations page that lists pretty much everything that you need to know to rent the Cannonsburg Village, so that when you are ready to call and make your reservation, you have all the information available to you. Equipment rental, open space rentals, as well as miscellaneous fees. And then in addition, on the Cannonsburg page, we have special events and activities that are coming up. Coming up soon, we have the Pioneer Days in April, so we've gone ahead and jumped the gun and gotten that information to you, as well as Free Day in May. So we will keep this updated as far in advance for you so you can plan out your schedule. And then the next recreation facility we have is McFadden Community Center. We've got a great page here that kind of lists some of the activities going on, as well as links to athletic and general programs, as well as link to the Project Go program, and as well the Rec Connection link. And in addition, if you're interested in renting the McFadden rentals, we've got that as well on here for you to know. Our next facility is Patterson Park, and this lists pretty much everything you need to know when you want to visit Patterson Community Center. It's got the contact information, hours, the next holiday closings, as well as in each individual box you have links to aquatics at Patterson, pool rentals at Patterson, wellness, theater, as well as athletics. And then we have all the rate information, explanation about the passes, because sometimes that can be a little confusing, as well as our refund policy for the Parks and Recreation, as well as a link to the Rec Connection. So this is definitely a more thorough page than it has been in the past. In addition, if you're interested in Patterson Park, we also have information on our rentals and reservations, and that has the contact person, as well as you can direct email them. With every venue in Patterson, we have the rates and the availability. And our next recreation facility is SportsCom, and it's very similar to the Patterson page. It lists everything, hours of operation, holiday schedules, as well as on both pages I had links to our holiday specials that you have approved, as well as links to aquatics, wellness, fitness, athletics, and rentals, our rates and passes, the refund policy, and the link to the Rec Connection. In addition to on the SportsCom pages, you can also have access to the rentals and reservations, as well as access to special events. There are several special events, as is we just did our polar bear plunge. That was a very big success. And then the Wilderness Station is our last recreation facility, where we have very many flyouts for this. They have lots of programs going on. We have a detailed description about the facility, as well as maps and brochures, programs, rentals, birthday parties, and educator tools. Next, we have a section on senior programs. We have a variety of programs throughout our city, and we've provided a way to get that information, as well as a link to the St. Clair Senior Center. We have wellness fitness on here. We have a main MPRD wellness fitness page, so that you may not know that we have 2 facilities. So this is going to give you that information. It gives all the links to all of our wellness programs, both Patterson and SportsCom exercise schedules, and as well the water exercise schedules. As well, it gives you information on weight room orientations, personal training, fitness assessments, and the blood cholesterol tests, as well as your contact information. And in addition, we have specific pages for Patterson Park Wellness, giving you pictures and giving you an idea of the equipment that we have available at that location, as well as who to contact and email for questions. The same for SportsCom Wellness page and the list of equipment, pictures, and again, the contact information. Moving on, we have our athletics page, and this is going to become more of an interactive page as we start listing rainouts and so forth. So when the leagues start up again this spring and summer, we'll be able to have some quick to information for the public instead of having just to call a number each time. We put on attentions, about we've got the Open Softball League meeting that we want to make sure everyone is aware of, as well as we have links to athletic clubs that we have associations with. Murfreesboro Soccer Club, the Kiwanis, Optimist, and the Murfreesboro Baseball Association. So we have links to their websites as well. And then also, we decided to put a page for Rec Connection. And basically, you have several options if you want to download. You may want to download the entire Rec Connection, or you may have a specific interest if you want to just only see the pages for athletics or aquatics. So I've put in that option so that you can really cater to your own needs. We have a special events page that gives up-to-date information. We have Frozen Tozens for the holidays coming up soon on January 24th, and that gives you the information that you need to know. And then we've also added a newsroom page. We are very fortunate, and we are highlighted quite often in the media, so we'd like to put that on there so you can see where we're at. There's a great picture of Bush there. And then also the latest news information, as is the information about our new director. I have press releases on there, so in case you need to know more information, this also is a great tool for the media if they need to get information and unable to reach us. And then last page, we have a contact page with access to email directly, and so you can find out who your contact person is in each department. We hope that the citizens will utilize this website. We feel like it's really got a lot more information than it has in the past, and we hope to keep updating it. It will be something that I work on every day to make sure it has the latest information for them. I do want to make a point, since we do update it quite frequently, that if someone decides to put us as their favorites, which we hope they do, they will need to periodically go up to view and reload. Refresh. It says some computers says refresh, some computers says reload, and just refresh the pages or refresh the website just so they get the latest information. And that is our website. I hope you've enjoyed this.
All right, Jenny. Great job. Thanks for the update.
Quite impressive.
It's a big change from what we had.
A lot of hard work.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Jenny's done a great job. I know we've worked on this. We've talked about what to put in there. We really want to make it very user-friendly, and we tried to, as we went through, try to get all the information and every question that we could think of as far as what staff came up with or what the ladies that answer the phone. Here's a common question that people call and they ask. We try to put that on the website. So we know it's very informational. If people just log on, we've got... They can go directly to it by going to murfreesborotn.gov/parks, and it'll take them directly to our website.
Well, it looks great. Great job, Jenny. We'll move on to item 3 under new business. Marlene's going to give us updates for special events and upcoming senior programs. Marlene?
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. Jenny's going to have a little slideshow going while I talk, hopefully slowly enough. First picture is on New Year's Eve. We had 170 seniors, and they had a great time. And that was a program that was also sponsored by the St. Clair Street Senior Center. Next, which is something we're starting today at 1:30, is Polar Bear Days. We've been doing this since 1989, 1:30, 3:30 Wednesday afternoons in January. Play cards. This year, we're also going to do some sculpty clay beads and activities today. Next week, we're going to learn how to play spinner. I want to do some bead work. And the 21st, we're going to play Farkle, which is a game we introduced last year, and then Bunko the last week. As you can see, we've been doing pictures of dances, which we do regularly. In fact, it is on February 13th at 9 o'clock in the morning at the St. Clair Street Senior Center. It's a co-sponsored program between the Recreation Department and the Senior Center, having a Valentine's party. And that night, starting at 6:30 for refreshments, we'll be having our annual Valentine's dance. And they're very popular. We can always use more men to dance. If any of you want to come over and volunteer and help, we'll let you in even if you're not 60. Some of the family activities we're going to be doing is we're going to decorate pillows on Sunday. Everyone, you can come. It's free. Bring a pillow insert. I'll have the fabric and the stuff to decorate with. If you're interested, I would appreciate you calling my office, 893-2141, just to let us know. And next month in February, on the 15th, at 2 o'clock at Old Fort Park, we'll be decorating stepping stones. And now, Rachel Singer's going to come talk a little bit about Frozen Tozens. Last month, we were sort of rained out along with thundered and lightninged out. But we're going to go ahead here and have another one this month. Rachel, thank you.
Thanks, Marlene.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you? Saturday, January 24th, we will present Frozen Tozens Owl Edition at the Cannonsburg Village. Bundle up for an enjoyable night, as this will be a wonderful family event that's guaranteed fun for everyone. Beginning at 3:30, there will be several fun owl activities, such as crafts, games, and even an owl calling contest. Learn interesting owl facts, such as how many species of owls reside here in Tennessee, just how much can an owl eat in one night, and really, how do those big owl eyes work? Then at 5 o'clock, we'll show a hootin' good movie. The event will be free. We'll have hot chocolate and popcorn for sale, and hope you guys can come out and enjoy it. Thanks.
Thanks, Rachel. All right, Tom, I think you're up. We'll get an update of the Patterson Center programs for 2009.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think Jenny's going to, as I talk, show some pictures of some variety of activities at Patterson. They're not necessarily going to correspond with exactly what I'm talking about, but we're going to try to get as close as possible. I'm going to talk mostly about things we got really pressing right now I think the public might want to be aware of. In our wellness department, we have a large wellness center in Patterson run by Chad Hill, and of course this time of year it is more crowded than ever, and we like to see that. I want to mention our fitness assessments that we do. It's a very good value for the public and people getting out, maybe working out that hadn't worked out for a long time. I think it's a really great idea to get the fitness assessment. They cost $25. And the fitness assessment includes the measurement of heart rate, blood pressure, body composition, cardiovascular endurance, muscular strength, muscular endurance, and flexibility. So it's a really good program. We got skilled wellness professionals in the center that to do this. It takes about 45 minutes, and you give us about 24 hours, and we can set you up for an appointment. We have 23 different aerobic classes at Patterson every week. Actually 9 different classes offered at 23 different times, so there's a wide variety of classes both at Patterson and at Sportscom. We also have classes in our pool. One of our very popular ones is the what we call Squeaks and Creaks, which is the counterpart to, I think, Gentle Joints at Sportscom, and we have that just about every morning during the week. You can call down to the center and talk to Nikki. We also have an aquatics program before that at 8 o'clock. And it's very popular with our seniors, but it's open to everyone. It's easy on the joints. It's a good way to get back into the fitness groove if you've been away from it a while or if you haven't. I would like to mention, too, that we are taking registration for swim lessons right now for children anywhere from 6 months old up to 4 years. Is that right, Nikki? There's a lot of openings. So these are very popular classes. We got professional staff for this, and like I said, these classes will start in a few weeks, and we got a lot of openings still open. I know it's the director has charged us to be very aggressive about swim lessons, and we hope to come with you to something soon, talking about a pilot program in city schools, which we're going to try to do no less than teach every elementary child in Murfreesboro how to swim and how to be around the water without being in danger. More on that later. We do have toddler programs. Those are very popular throughout the year. Now school's back in session. A lot of moms want to get, and dads want to get children active. Tuesday is our main day for toddler programs, although we have programs during the course of the week. But one thing we started this year that has worked out really well is we have 3 toddler programs in a row at 9, 10, and 11 o'clock in the morning, moving from arts and crafts to the 9 o'clock program actually is going to be gymnastics for little kids and toddlers, and then we're going to go to an arts and crafts game type of venue, and then they're going to go upstairs to the wellness center staff and do some more movement games and learn how to follow directions and this kind of thing. So we got actually 3 toddler programs in a row on Tuesday. This has become very popular because mom or dad can bring their child down there and spend the whole morning while they go. They can either be in there with the child or they can go work out. So we're very proud of that program, and it's growing in leaps and bounds as we speak. So we think we kind of hit the right formula for that. I do want to mention 2 more things. We got a lot going on over there. Our leagues. We got 4 leagues in Patterson that are right in the middle of registration right now. Our adult basketball league, our adult indoor soccer league, and our youth indoor soccer league. And then the 4th one is our over 50 basketball league, which is this will be the first year we do this. We've had a lot of people ask us about it, and it's going to be a 3-on-3 type of league, playing half court. And you can call up now. We hope this will be a very popular league, and it's also designed to prepare people if they want to compete in the Tennessee Senior Olympics also. So please call Mike Philpott at the center, or you can go on our website that Jenny's put together and get all the details for signing up and the age groups and all that. So be aware we have those 4 leagues signing up as we speak. And the last thing I touch on before I leave the mic is we're proud to be, I think, the hub of activity for the program centered around Black History Month. And, of course, Martin Luther King's birthday is coming up on the 19th. We have for years been, for the MLK Scholarship Association has held their annual banquet on Martin Luther King Day. We open up the center special that day just for that activity. We are closed that day, but we do open it up for that banquet. And I want to say that anyone who wants to participate in that, every year we have a little march that starts at Central Middle School. That everyone meets there about 11 o'clock and then have a march over to Patterson Center. And the festivities at Patterson Center go from about 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. This year, that's going to launch a whole myriad of activities headed up by Emil Mitchell and our staff. We're going to have, you'll hear more about this later, but the Bradley Art Museum, Bradley Museum is going to be involved, going to bring some of their exhibits over to the center. Our library is going to be involved, and we're going to give more exposure to our Washington collection of African American authors. We're going to have, just real quick, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but we're going to have our annual Murfreesboro Got Talent show. We're going to have a gospel music show. We're going to have a play put on by MTSU called The Burden of Malaya, talking about African American culture. We're going to have a fashion show. The Greek fraternities and sororities from MTSU are going to come over and put on a step dance show for the center. We're going to have a quiz bowl for the kids, and we're also going to have a cook-off in there, too. So for about 3 weekends after, we might be soliciting y'all for judges on that. But we'll be having 3 weekends of activities after the Martin Luther King Day. So we're going to put some more advertising about that, some more posters about that. But we're going to get into those activities. It's just going to be the price of admission into the center, and we hope everyone will come and join us for those. That's it.
Great, Tom. Anybody have any questions regarding anything Tom's gone over? Sounds like a busy month.
Just where do I sign up for the judging of the cooking?
I'll have our people contact your people. I would encourage
Specifically dessert testing, right?
Historically, Bratcher has been a name that's been synonymous with food judging.
Absolutely. Especially ice cream.
Every time Fred Trujillo needs somebody to sample pies at anything in Canonsburg, he's there.
I'm your man.
I do feel that the Park Commission might be able to put together an over 50 basketball team too. So I do promise the general public that there will be no favoritism as far as the referees, but we look forward to your involvement in that.
Thanks, Tom.
All right.
Lanny, you have anything to add to that, or?
One of the things I wanted to tell the commission, I went through the ordinances, and I looked at what the powers and duties of the commission was. And one of the things it says is the commission shall recommend a program of recreation and cultural activities that will employ the leisure time of the citizens in a constructive and wholesome manner. And one of the things that I want to try to do is bring more information to the commission so that you can review the programs and activities that we're offering. And because I know people out in the public are going to be asking you what's going on at Patterson. You can refer them to our web page, those kind of things. So in the future, you will see more programs and people that are presenting the programs come to you. But just to give you an example, that was a long laundry list of things that are going on at Patterson, and the staff does a great job there. Tom's doing a really good job in terms of leading that staff and getting them energized and excited about offering programs to the public. But we're going to continue, and my challenge to the staff is to generate programs of interest that will bring people to the center and get them out and get them active in parks and recreation. So with that, I'd like to go to the next one, Mr. Chairman, which is a report on the polar bear plunge, which I'm glad to say that Mr. Tips participated in, and Mr. Bratcher was the MC, and probably one of the biggest events in the polar bear plunge that we've had that I can remember. Mr. Bratcher, can you remember one? You've been emceeing this for some time, but I would say there was over 500 people there. I know Bart's going to give an update for us, and I don't want to steal his thunder, but it was a great event, and I talked to Mr. Tips right before commission meeting, and he said he was energized, and I think he's ready to jump again.
I'm going to wait a year, but I'll jump in.
Bart?
Okay, thank you, Lanny. I know Nate Williams was supposed to give this report. He was kind of the coordinator of the event. His wife became ill this morning. He called in, and I know he hated not to be here, but he's like a good husband, stayed home with his wife to take care of her. So, but I know he was a coordinator and did a great job getting everything together. But this was our 7th annual Polar Bear Plunge. It was on January the 3rd. People stop me or Sue stop you or who's ever involved and say, one of the questions is why. But, there's really not an answer other than you want to do something new, fun, enjoyable. And all our events that we have throughout the year, this is one of my favorites, I know for sure, and it's one of our great events. So with that, I'll let Jenny start the video, and I'll kind of comment on that as we go through here. We started at 8:30 that morning with our Arctic adventure, and Thomas Laird set all that up for us. We set it up on Friday at 5 o'clock with a lot of help and a lot of people with our staff setting it up. And you'll see people come out that you hadn't seen all year, but they'll come out dressed up, energized. There's a group photo of some of the people that were there, some of the dignitaries. There's our Murfreesboro Fire Department Honor Guard, who added a great touch of class, dressed up, came out, did the national anthem. We had a costume contest, as you can see, for the little ones. There we had a adult costume contest. I think Doug Young, Butch Campbell, Chris Bratcher, and Lanny were the judges. We headed out to the pool at 10. There they are. I want to say we had a total of 585 jumpers. They all lined up around our MC, Mr. Chris Bratcher, counted down. As you can see, they're going in and getting a little refreshed right there to start the new year. There's Butch Campbell, one of our ex-Recreation Commission members, who he's been coming quite about every year. But it's an event that really, like I said, it brings people out that you don't see much, and it's a great event. There's myself and Councilman Doug Young, who's jumped about every year. I know Mr. Tips jumped this year. Chris was our MC. And what this benefits is the Murfreesboro City Schools Family Resource Center, and everybody brings a can. There's Connie Middleton, who is the director, and we donated over 1,280 pounds of food this year to the Resource Center, which is, last year was a little over 700, so we improved that by almost 500 pounds, which, it's quite unbelievable, that big a jump. It's going to help a lot of people in town and everything, and like I said, it was a great event. Some people I'd want to thank, of course, Chris Bratcher came out and did the MC. Tim Tips was there. Channel 3 was there. I want to thank them for coming out. The Murfreesboro Fire Department Honor Guard, who comes out every year and does a great job for us. Councilman Doug Young, Butch Campbell was there, and I know after our jump, which the pool temperature was 41 degrees. The outside temperature wasn't bad, but as Mr. Tips can tell you, it still jolts you pretty good when you jump in and get out. But we had a post meeting for a polar bear plunge, and our goal next year, we challenge you to have 100% participation from the Recreation Commission. So we're going to work on that this year, and hopefully.
Now, wait a minute. Does being MC qualify as participation? Yes. I don't think so.
We'll have an asterisk. You can jump.
I'm
grandfathered in. Yes. Okay, I know Mr. Bratcher mentioned one year it could mess his hair up, but we still want him to jump.
You'll go in one way or the other.
It is a great event. It's something to see. If you hadn't been out, please come out and look at it next year. But like I said, I know Nate Williams is not here. He'd love to give him a report, but he did a great job getting everything set up, and it was a great event for us and the city and everybody involved. We want to thank people for coming out, donating the food, and it's going to a great cause.
Well, I tell you, it was a great crowd. There's ages from small children to people in their 70s and 80s were there. Everybody participating. Bart done a great job. Nate Williams, Thomas Laird played the harmonica for the national anthem, done a great job doing that, and everybody had a lot of fun. You'd be surprised at how much fun is involved in that. Yeah. Great time for the family.
Very good.
Bart, I believe you've got another update that you're going to do for us. You're a little too quick to the seat.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Before we start, I want to kind of give you an update on, I know we had our Christmas special we just passed on the 2-for-1, and I want to just give you some figures that from our reports. You should have that in your packet. 2007 at Sportscom, our total deposits for December was like $62,880.60. And this year at the end of December, our total deposit was $68,903.85, which is a plus of around $6,000. And this was at Sportscom. And at Patterson last year, 2007, their deposits were $71,449.04. And this year they jumped up around $7,000 to $78,536.38. So this 2-for-1 special really gets the people out. It's when people come out and look at it and see it, it's the best deal going. It's a great thing for our citizens here in Murfreesboro, and hopefully next year they'll take advantage of it. As you can see, that really brings them in before the next year. So just wanted to update you on that. And now I think we're going to give an update on our programs at Sportscom for the month of January, and Jenny has started the video, so I will kind of touch on this first. This is our wellness activities at Sportscom. We are starting a homeschool PE program this year for ages 7 to 12 and 13 to 17 years old. These will be twice a week for homeschool children and begin on January the 12th. We now have 2 tumbleweeds pre-tumbling classes for toddlers on Mondays and Wednesdays at 10:30. And these classes fill up very fast. We take reservations that morning at 6 a.m., and they fill up very quickly. And the teachers do a great job with those young kids that come in there and tumble, and their parents are very interested and watch them, and they really enjoy the class. We also have, on January 6th, we're going to start a Tai Chi for diabetes class that will meet twice a week for the entire month, and we will follow that up with a Tai Chi for osteoporosis class in March. Allison Davidson, our Wellness Fitness Coordinator, Jennifer Jones, do a great job in offering all our classes. You can see our weight room. We also have some new equipment that just came in that people can take advantage of. Allison also goes to the St. Clair Senior Center every month and teaches classes over there. She will be teaching Tai Chi this month. And since October the 30th, we have what we call a Holiday Hold program that encourages participants not to gain weight over the holidays, and they just finished that program and getting the final measurements this week to see who gained and who didn't. I would say the majority probably gained a little, but hopefully not. We have changed a couple of our exercise classes to a different format. We now have a very popular weightlifting class called Brick Body Circuit, and that's going to be on Monday nights at 5 and Sundays at 1:30, as well as Wednesday and Friday mornings at 8 p.m. that we already have. We also have a new yoga class that starts at 8 a.m. on Mondays. And we are continuing with our group exercise schedule that roughly we have 24 classes a week, and we have a variety of those being offered, and those are all in our Rec Connection that Jenny puts together along with our website. We'll have the schedule on for the entire classes that we do offer, as well as Patterson. We also are offering a personal training package. If somebody wants to be individually trained, they can come in. We have a list of personal trainers that we can give them, and the cost and the packages and everything such as that, so they can look at it and sign up a personal trainer. Like I said, we already have some new equipment, and hopefully we're going to have some new things coming up in February and March also. We're going to have a biannual aerobic triathlon on February the 21st. We're going to have an Unplug and Read in support of the Read Succeed program on February the 17th and 19th. And we're also going to offer marathon training in March. And I'd just like to say that I know Tom and I, we talk quite a bit on Patterson and SportsCom, what we're offering, what we're doing, and we try to coordinate where we don't double up and try to offer a variety of stuff at both places for all our patrons that come out to both places. And there's our water polo league in athletics. As we go to athletics, that meets on Tuesday nights at 7. We also have all our water exercise programs offered Monday through Saturday at various times. We also are offering the swimming lessons on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons and Saturday mornings, and they'll be starting here very soon next week. We also have our lap swim, which is offered every day from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., then 11 to 1, and in the afternoon 4 to 6. We usually try to keep at least one lane open for people that do want to swim laps throughout the day. As you know, we also have open swim that's 7 days a week, and we have the party rentals, which was mentioned in the website and also in our Rec Connections. In our athletics at SportsCom, we do offer a variety of programs there. We do have a 30 and over basketball league that's offered Wednesday night, 6 to 9. Thursday nights, we have 4:30 to 6 p.m. We have a youth volleyball program we're trying to get started. We've had quite a few participants there, hope to improve that. Our adult volleyball league is 6:30 to 9 on Thursdays. There's our toddler time that Thomas has on Fridays at 10 a.m., and that class fills up very quick. We also have our youth basketball, which is starting up this Friday with practices, and the games start very soon, 6 to 9. We have over 600 participants signed up for that league, which is very popular. I know Thomas has started a 5 and 6-year-old league, and we lower the goals and a smaller ball and kind of gear it down to their level of play, which is quite entertaining. And we also have Saturdays we play our youth basketball 9 to 12. So even though we're talking basketball, all the baseball leagues, softball and everything's just right around the corner. We've already had calls for tournaments. Softball tournament's already in the middle of summer, but, that will be here before we know it, but we'll get through our winter programs with the basketball and start gearing up for spring and summer. But hopefully our goal is to offer something for everybody, from ages 6 months, 3 months to however old you're going to be. So we hope to offer something for everyone. That's our goal, and like I said, our goal next year is to have 100% participation in the Polar Bear Plunge, and we hope to see you there.
There's your challenge.
Comments or
Lay
questions?
down the gauntlet. Bart, thank you. Anybody got any questions for Bart? Okay, thank you. It's a good report. Thanks to everybody. It's a good day.
Can I say?
Absolutely.
I just want to say, we've had reports from a lot of our leaders in our Parks and Recreation Department. I think that's why that Lanny and the staff and all these department heads is why we have such a great recreation department here in the city of Murfreesboro, why we win awards, and it's for their hard work. And I know they do a lot to make our citizens happy, and it's a lot of times it's nights and weekends and holidays and things like that. But I know this commission just wants to say thank you for all your hard work and what you do.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Mr. Roger.
Any other questions or comments? Being none, we stand adjourned.